sit and close your eyes, or lay down and close your eyes, and get comfortable with the things that you've, reached for prop-wise for practice today. And let's enter into this holy moment, the sacred space of your heart, this breath, and this moment of being alive and in a body today. So get comfortable. If you are lying down, you can make whatever movements you need to be as comfortable as possible. And if you're sitting tall, great. Lift your heart a little bit more. Let the window open to your heart. Begin to let the air blow through your own beautiful breath, a shared breath with the breath of all creation. So feel yourself in that dance and in that collaborative exchange. It's already taking place. And as we enter into dream state, as we enter into this kind of sacred space between doing and being, we open our consciousness to that which we may not know yet. We open our hearts to the gifts that are happening already, that maybe our conscious mind has not yet seen. And we feel for our inner eye, the compass of our soul that guides us to exactly where we need to be in every single moment. You are the gift. It's breathing into all of that. So we feel the oscillation of energies, this pushing and then letting go, this reaching and going toward, and this leaning back and becoming receptive. And we loosen the grip. Any attachments or expectations we may have had up until this breath, we let them become free to morph, to transmute, and to change according to our highest and best, and for the highest and best of all life everywhere. You are becoming refined as a human being. Your soul energy, the infinite, the oneness that you are. We enter into what's called 0 point. 0 point field of your infinite centerless being. And we begin to discover our ability to just simply float in this moment. We release anything that defines us. Our need for things to be a certain way. And we embrace the ever-changing landscape of experience. so that we may embody the living nature of our eternal being. So just feel how rejuvenating that is for you. You will never be left behind. You can't miss your destiny. And there is a unique timing that is already perfect in this unfoldment of what's next. So even a deeper letting go with your next exhale. So we bring our palms together at heart center. And those of you who have been laying on the ground, you're welcome to just feel your heart opening and your palms facing up on the floor where you are. We just open ourselves to this intuitive consciousness that is available to us now and always. And we let the natural glory of life fill us through our in-breath. And whatever needs to be released, peeled away, let that happen on the exhale. Each exhale, creating space, getting out of our way, getting out of spirit's way. And let's bring our palms to our heart if we haven't yet done so. And take a nice, long, deep inhale all the way to the crown of your head. And exhale down into your seat. So really feel yourself land. Do another deep breath. Again, feeling the expansive quality of glorious life coming into you. And exhale again, letting go of whatever's in the way of you being here now. And let's begin the practice with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Sigh this breath out. Release your hands to your lap. If you're sitting, if you're laying down, stay where you are. If you're sitting up, lie on your back. Let's all pull our knees into our chest. And just rock out the spine. Let's feel our bodies. Now, what's it like to be in this body today? Checking in ever deeply. And giving thanks for this flesh and bones. And let's also call in this time to be a time where we release anything that feels tense that we've been carrying around in our body. We'll begin with a little twist. Take the knees to hover above the belly. Bring the arms out at heart level. So out in a T shape, palms up. Yep, just rest against the earth. Let the knees fall to the right. If you want, you can bring a pillow up underneath your knees. Turn your head to look down. Your left arm, let your shoulders drop back into the earth. Let's take 3 or 4 deep breaths here. We have grown so much in this last year. We've had activities that have awakened us. We've been protected, even in the darkest moments. Now feel that. Let your legs relax even more. Try not to hold yourself up in space. Just let your feet relax to the earth. Let your knees soften, get really heavy. In fact, the more you can let go here, and let the floor hold you, the better. Melt, melt, melt. To live shamanically, to be a seer, to live with awakefulness, we must take in and notice that magic and miracles are surrounding us. Take one more breath here. And on your inhale, bring the knees back up to center and let them fall to the left. We'll spend just as much time here with the knees falling to the floor on the left, stacking with one another, and then kind of settling. You'll notice sometimes the legs kind of slide apart. Sometimes the feet want to do something else. That's all okay. It's more about you finding where you fit in this pose. So you don't have to fit into it. You let it work for you. And then let your head and neck relax. Notice if you're holding any tension around your jaw, or your throat, or the tops of your shoulders, or the muscles of your face. And let those go. Sometimes oneness feels like disintegration instead of integration. That kind of feeling of emptiness or floating or tingling. So open to the possibility of that experience today. More of a boundlessness in your field. And as we breathe, we open also to those synchronicities, maybe in this moment, maybe in the next, maybe tomorrow, or sometime soon. We say these synchronicities are available for our perceptions more than even just a year ago. How far we have come. Breathing in and out. And then on your next breath, bring the knees back up to center. Extend the left leg out, hug the right knee in. And grab your strap. I'm going to lay down and do this with you so I can demo. Okay, so lasso up your right foot with your strap. And if you haven't yet done so, there's two ways to do that. You can make a little loop. If your strap has that hook side, you can make a little loop. Or you can just use the strap around the sole of your foot. Okay, so either way works. You usually find a way that you like better than the other. Okay, and if you don't have a yoga strap, you can always use a sock. You know, one of those long white tube socks out of your drawer. Or you can use a necktie. Okay, so anything like that works. So what I've done is I've extended my left leg out along the floor. I'm flexing my right foot to the sky. And my strap is like a stirrup in the arch of my foot. And I'm simply just holding that leg up at a 90-degree angle. I don't even need to pull it in towards me. And in fact, if your hamstrings are real tight, you can let your foot move in the opposite direction of you. Okay, so lots of space to make adjustments. So let's reach up with both hands on the strap and walk ourselves up. So we're going to engage the belly muscles. Squeeze it. Now round the back. So the low back presses into the earth, but pull up through the heart. So you're going to draw your shoulders down away from your ears and kind of squeeze your belly button back as you lift your face towards your foot. On your next breath out, slowly lay back and see if you can bring your leg in with you. Okay, you can always loosen your grip on your strap.
Now, holding your strap anywhere along it, let the right leg open out. And you may find that you have to keep that strap real taut. So you can just adjust how high you're pulling it in and how far it gets to open out. So adjust as you need to. You can keep your elbows in close to your body for maybe a little bit more control. And let that inner right groin start to let go. So the weight of the bones of your legs are moving down towards the floor, but we're not letting our body lean over to the right. We're trying to keep our body, our shoulder blades, our hips against the floor. And that's gonna limit our range of motion, but that's okay, because we're gonna focus the energy on the inner thigh. Good, fan out your right toes. Fan out your left toes. Reach opposite through both feet, so as if you're elongating your legs further. And on your next inhale, guide your right strap back up to center. And then switch your hands. So now let your left leg open to the left. And I only want you to go like maybe 10, 20 degrees over to the left. So say if your leg pointing straight up is at 12 o'clock on a clock, you're just going to about 11 o'clock. And then pull your belly back and hollow out your belly. And let the left side not be determining how far you go. Like kind of work against gravity. More feel now the outer edge of your right leg, your whole IT band, outer calf, outer thigh, and then just see if it can melt a little bit more across without you leaning over to the left side of your body or to your mat. So give it another breath here. Good. All right, now take your right thumb and push it into the crease where your right hip and your leg meet. So push it away from you. Yes. Now see how that lights up your leg even more. And then see if you can let that leg go a little further, but without, again, rocking all the way over to the left. Perfect. Nice long in-breath. Getting that stretch on the outer right hip. On your inhale, use your strap to help your foot be guided back up to center. Take your lasso off your foot, lower your right foot down to the ground. Bend your right knee, bend your left knee, pause. Take note, what does it feel like? Right to left. This is your body. So when we say embodiment, we're saying this is the soma, this is the divine nectar, the blood, the oxygen, the cells that make you up. When you give yourself that acknowledgement of the soma, you are drinking out of the Holy Grail. You're literally allowing yourself to be nourished by the healing power of being present in your own body. So the soma is nourished by all the attention you give, even if this seems boring, right? Lasso up that left foot. Hug. Oh, yes. Let's send the right leg out along the floor. Let us not forget our opposite leg. And again, adjust so you have where you need to be in these first beginning breaths. With your left leg straight up to the sky or slightly away. Flex the toes back towards you, aiming the heel to the sky. Fan your toes out. Take a deep breath in and out. So when I say to take a deep breath, make it even deeper so you fill your lungs completely. And empty your lungs completely. That could take a full 15 seconds, maybe even longer. Now, pull your leg in a little closer and start to climb your hands up your strap towards your foot. Squeeze your low back towards the floor. Squeeze your belly button in. Pull up through your pelvic floor muscles. Draw your shoulders down your back. Lift your chest. Look up at your toes. I'm pushing my low back down, like my back waist down. My rib cage is coming up as much as I can get it to come up. So my rib cage folds down and in towards my belly. Good. As I lay back, exhale, bring the leg in to me a little closer if it allows. Now all of a sudden you got a deeper hamstring stretch, right? Take a big breath into that. If you need to make a sound, a sigh, a growl, a scream, a cry, a laugh, let that out. Woo! And then let your left leg fall open to the left without tipping over. So you can even place your right hand on your hip to kind of keep things heavy on that side. Let the left leg use the strap to determine how far gravity takes hold. You want to bring your arms in close by to you or give yourself a little slack on your belt or strap, do so. And then hold here, feeling the inner groin wake up. Flex back again on both feet, fan the toes. Reach the legs apart, so stretch them in opposite directions. Big breath in. Big breath out. Good. Inhale, guide the left leg back up to center. Switch the hands. And remember, we just go a little bit of a ways. I'm going to take my left arm out to the side. I could turn my palm down to give me some extra security. And then I'm letting the left leg cross over me, straight. And I might right away start to feel that IT band or the whole entire ligament that connects the whole lower and upper leg. You might feel it more on the outer side of your knee. So just notice where you feel it and then adjust appropriately so you're taking care of yourself while we open. So those outer ligaments of the legs are totally helping us stay stable, just like the inner groin and the muscles of our adductors help us with stability. But oftentimes it may limit our mobility, right? Or the freedom we have to kind of swing in through life. And I'll tell you, I played my James Brown Christmas music today so you guys knew how important it is to kind of swing into the season. Just let your hips roll. So take another deep breath here. Use your left thumb, press into that left hip crease, push it away from you. Notice how that shifts your low back, your low waistline, left side ribs. And on your next breath, when you feel ready, take as much time as you need. If it feels good here, you needed some extra breaths, do it. Otherwise, start to inhale, bring that leg back up to center. Take the lasso out from your foot. Set your strap aside for now. Left foot to the ground, right foot to the ground, hands to your belly. Pause. I apologize if you guys hear any, the mower guy came right as we started class, so you might hear a little bit of that in the background, so I apologize if that's happening. And then bring your hands now up to your heart space. Take your fingers right along your collarbone. Okay, so find that little ridge between your neck and your collarbone. You're gonna use all 4 fingers, not your thumb. And you're gonna massage into your collarbone. And just notice if there's any areas of tension there. And then go below your collarbone, right along the other side, closer to, say, your chest point or your pectoralis, and just massage along that space. Again, freeing open that area of the heart. And then together with all 8 fingers, 4 on each side, tap the breastbone, sternum, thump, thump, thump there, giving thanks for the thymus gland and the atrial parts, ability to give and receive. Big breath in, and then this time just do a little Tarzan out. Good, and then slowly take your fingers down the length of your sternum, between your chest, breast, all the way down to the base of your ribs. So you kind of feel that juncture where your ribs meet. Okay, so slide your hands along that rib, lower rib bone, okay, on each side. So right fingers go along the right rib, lower ribs, left fingers going around the left lower ribs, and just give yourself a massage. I want you to start to press a little deeper under if you can. So we're actually releasing that diaphragmatic space as well. And if there's any tension there, you may notice it right away. We're also saying hello to those digestive organs. The rib cage protects all the vital organs being your heart and your lungs and your diaphragm, right? So as we kind of massage that area between them, we're activating that connection to all of our precious organs of the body. Good. And then once you get to the outer edge, this time, walk your fingers up 3 ribs. So you're gonna go between your second and third rib on each side. Specifically on your right side, we have our liver gallbladder. On the left side, we have our pancreas, stomach, and we're gonna do those same kind of thumping taps right there and say thank you to our inner organs. You can do about 10 thumps there. And that's just helping to stimulate and vibrate them. Send that energy of gratitude and then pause. Good, you can blink open your eyes if you have your eyes closed. Roll over onto your right or left side, whichever you prefer. Pull your knees in, fetal position. And then just bring yourself up enough so you can come onto your belly. So flip onto your belly and then spread out your legs a little wider than your mat. Spread out your arms a little wider than your mat. Bring your head down, either cheek to rest on the floor. And just let yourself spread like honey against the earth. And as you are here, you're going to notice maybe where you're breathing or where your body is in discomfort. So just notice those areas. And then turn your head in the other direction. Good. And now we'll activate some internal energy at 2 Shakti points at the pelvic region, the bowl of our pelvis. So we're going to take soft fists, bring our right fist into the right hip crease. You might have to bend your elbow a little bit. And depending on how you feel with your hands, you can turn your hands face up and with that fist. That's kind of the best spot. So to the soft area between your hip bones and above your pubic bone at the bowl of your pelvis. Okay, so there's lots of pressure points in here. We're gonna bring our chin to the ground and just start by bringing the feet in to about hips distance. So So we're going to use our Shalabhasana pose, locust, to sort of activate all these pelvic points. So begin with the chin staying on the ground, pressing your pelvis into your hands. You can let your elbows float up if you'd like, and letting now your legs, just your feet barely come up off the ground. So just let that natural like stretch you feel in the tissue there in your pelvis just happen. Maybe a little uncomfortable. Good. Exhale, release. Take the arms longer underneath you now, below or next to your pubic bone on either side. I have my fist turned so my pinky side is up, okay? Underneath at that crease. So my arms are now long. At least that's the way my proportion works. Again, chin to the ground, feet a bit hips distance. And again, this time, push your pubic bone down on top and let your legs come up high as they can climb. So we're going to use a couple breaths to let those legs sort of pulse easy up. If you find your chin wants to naturally raise just a bit, that's fine. We're also pressurizing our arms, right? So we have these points that are being pressurized by our hip bones on our forearms as we work. So this is like a nausea release pose. It also helps with anxiety points. So all that is starting to be sort of activated here. Good. Last exhale, press your legs up as high as you can, squeezing your booty. And then exhale, lower everything down. Untuck your arms. Bring them overhead, kind of in a diamond shape, if that's comfortable for your shoulders. And then lower your forehead to the ground. And as long as your nose doesn't feel smushed here, this can be comfortable for about 2 or 3 breaths, just noticing the natural movement of breath in the riverbed of your spine. And just feel that activation within your pubic bone, pelvic bowl, hip sockets, hips, booty. So the whole lower triangle of the body. Good. Slide your hands back. Press down into your hands with your elbows in tight. Don't even move yourself yet. Just kind of keep that activation through your shoulder blades. Pull your belly in. Push your pubic bone down and start to raise up like you're coming into cobra. Come about halfway to your maximum. Good. And then look forward. Draw your shoulder blades down your back so you're not at full cobra or straight arms. Elbows bent and in. Let your arms work. Now curl your toes underneath behind you. Pull your belly in and push your hips back. It's almost like you're coming through table and into puppy pose. So keep your hips high over your knees. Slide your hands out in front of you. So let your sitting bones spread behind you, spine lengthen. Again, forehead on the floor or chin on the floor. Melting heart pose, puppy pose. Long, deep inhales and exhales, spreading the armpits. Activating your wings, like along your rib cage and lats. Good. Once again, walk your hands up towards you. So your hands are going to come under your shoulders. Your chest and chin are coming on the ground. For some people, this is going to feel a little uncomfortable. So if you have to just come up onto all fours, no problem. We're almost like in a knees, chest, chin, but very condensed version. So from here, you're going to lift your right knee up off the ground and send your right leg up to the sky. And then switch. Left leg up to the sky. Good. Lower. Push the hips back. Elongate the arms in front. Fold into an extended now your belly is on top of your thighs, your arms are overhead. Or if you want to give your arms a little break, take your arms by your side and forehead to the ground. Yogi Mudra pose. Clasp your hands behind your back, but clasp with your fingertips folded inside rather than outside. So usually when we clasp the fingers on the outside, so bring your knuckles together, clasp, interlock your fingers and clasp your hands so the fingers are on the inside. Forehead comes to the floor. As you lift your hips off the floor, take your arms up to the sky. Squeeze out the shoulder blades and then lower down. Do that 2 or 3 more times. You can let your head and your chin come in as you raise the arms and lower the hips. 2 more times. Good. And then release all the way back down and start to roll the entire chest up, head up, sitting back on the heels for hero pose or diamond pose. Roll the shoulders back, sit tall. Sweep the arms up and overhead. Interlock your hands above your head and then turn the palms up to the sky. Lengthen your side body, side ribs. Pick your hips up off your knees. Push the palms up towards the ceiling. Exhale right, arch to the right. Inhale center. Exhale arch left. And do that a couple more times. So the hips stay stable at center. You're moving from your waistline and you'll feel that stretch happening along your side ribs as you go back and forth. Inhale, exhale. One more round. Inhale, exhale. Good. When you're back to center, pause, release your hands. And once again, take your palms to the ground in front of you. Walk your hands out. You can kind of move more towards the center of your mat now. Table pose. Perfect. So curl your right toes under and stretch it back, your right heel back behind you. And just kind of stay in like a plank shape position with that right heel stretching back. Just kind of push your hands in one direction, your heel opposite. So you feel your right calf muscle open. And then bring your right knee back down to the floor. Stretch your left heel back, straightening your left leg. Push back through that left heel, stretching your left calf muscle. Mine were really tight today. Didn't know until this moment. Deep breath in and out. Good. Now stretch both legs back, both heels back. I'm pushing my hands forward like I would for a down dog, but I'm staying in the plank body. Pull the belly in, and then now push off from your heels towards your toes. And just do those movements back and forth without changing your spine. So you really gotta hug into your belly, get that girdle feeling around your ribs, and now squeeze your booty a little bit. Good, so you're on just one plane, crown to heels. Good, lower the knees down and lower onto your forearms. All right, last little section here in the belly down position. Clasp your hands in front of you, interlocking your fingers. Lift your chest, looking forward. Tail feathers are fanning back, so get that little low back arch, soften the belly. Good, and now curl your toes underneath as if you're coming into down dog. Stretch your hips up and look back at your toes. Now walk your feet in as far as it feels comfortable for you to hold yourself here in dolphin. If you need to keep your knees bent, do so. but try to stay high on your tippy toes. Try to press the floor with your forearms and elbows and hands equally. And now walk your feet outside the edge of your mat. So your feet are about 2.5 feet apart. And do that little tip of your tailbone back. Hollow through your belly. Open and spread the back door of your heart and shoulders. Good, one more big breath here. Exhale it all out, stay. And then slowly drop the knees back towards the earth. Take the big toes to touch, knees wider than your mat. So a nice wide child's pose. If you want to grab a little pillow for your head, you're welcome to. You can also stack your arms and make your own little pillow. We're in a groin stretch for the next minute. I'll tell you when to turn your head 30 seconds in. So let's just get quiet. Reconnect. So in that center point, 0 point. Good, turning your head in the other direction. Re-soften, release. Inhaling, moving your chin back to center, coming up onto your palms. You can give yourself a little back bend here if you'd like. Most importantly, we're coming up off the heels in the next few moments, curling the toes under and coming back into that tabletop shape one last time. Good, so from here, coming to our standing positions. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Walk your down dog out, or you can elephant walk forward and back on your mat. So that means you can even walk around your whole room if you'd like. Elephant walking means just keep your legs straight, so don't bend your knees. Walk around forward and back on your mat. And just getting those joints of the hips, those ball and socket joints, shoulders to awaken. And when you feel good with that, walk your hands back towards your feet. Make your feet really heavy. Grab your elbows and hang, standing forward bend. So you can release your neck even more by clasping your hands together behind the back of your throat at your neck point, and gently with the elbows underneath the jawline. Apply pressure. Just the weight of your arms, and you might be able to get a little pop, a little decompression in the neck. Good, exhale, release the arms. Let them dangle like 2 cooked noodles. Using your weight. Bend slightly through the knees, hug the belly button back. Uncurl the spine on your way to standing. So take as much time as you need. Move through some thick molasses as you rise up. Roll the shoulders back. Raise the head last. Coming to standing at the center of your mat. Good. All right. So we're gonna need our strap again. Everyone, let's grab that.
adjust this. Okay. Okay, trusty strap. So I'm just going to take my loop out for now for this one. So if you have a loop from our first strap exercises, you can take that loop out. So you just have a one long strap, okay? And then hang your straps about equal length on each side and slide your hands from the middle out to just wider than your shoulders. Okay, and then sweep the arms up with a big inhale, reach, but let your shoulder blades slide down your back. So you have two movements, elongation through the arms, but a retraction of those shoulder blades, back and down. Good, and then just feel your legs. You might have to bend and straighten a couple times so you feel like you're not locking back through your knees. Good, so you can squeeze a little bit your inner groins together. Or you can imagine that your two sitting bones are tucking in towards each other, bringing in a little squeeze in your booty. Yes. So not tight, just engaged. All right, let's arc to the right again. So I'm kind of pulling with my right arm, and I'm attempting to keep my left arm straight. So I'm not going to bend at my wrist, and I'm going to try to bring it right next to or behind my ear. So our whole side body stretch. Now push your hips out to the left and see if that right foot can float up. Yes, nice guys, awesome. So feel the power in your balance and this nice arc you've made on your left side, and then inhale, scoop it all back to center. Good, reach, shrug shoulders down. Exhale, other side. So now I'm pulling with my left, right arm. See how my wrist wants to release. So try to keep it straight. Right arm's right by the right ear, slightly behind it. And then hips slowly can press out to the right. Good. And then from here, you want to feel that weight kind of move into your right foot as you let your left foot float up. Breathing in, breathing out. Patient opening of the body, but enlivening of all your cells. Feeling the life flowing through. Inhale, reach up, squeeze in, and exhale, open the arms a little wider. Now, how wide is all dependent on two things. What I want you to do is I want you to floss your shoulders and arms. So you're going to attempt to bring those arms back, and then you're going to slide your arms as wide as they need to go. You got to be careful with this, everyone. Go slow, and at the same time, open your arms as wide as they need. So you can floss that strap all the way back behind you. Let it go. Once you got that strap behind you, inhale, send it back, reach it up. So that the hands are squeezing on that strap. The arms are reaching on that strap, and they're kind of pulling opposite of each other as you circle it around. So we're going to do 2 more rounds flossing, as long as that feels okay for you. Again, if you have to wiggle out your knees and shimmy everything in between, that's perfectly okay. Inhale, reach up. I might even be able to bring my arms in a little closer the second and third cycle. So just check in. And it's going to be fierce because we're working with those pectoralis muscles. So for a lot of people don't know this, but pectoralis minor, that muscle that connects your chest muscles to your inner armpit, kind of upper arm bone, those are one of the only 4 muscles of the body that have torque, like, you know, like in a car. So where the pectoralis minor inserts at the shoulder, power, right where it inserts, it twists, it makes a little twist. Good, you guys are awesome. Bring it down, relax, bring your strap off to the side, just shake and shimmy everything out. All right, shake your hands, shake and loosen your arms and shoulders. Shake and loosen your head. Just become kind of like a jellyfish swimming through the water. Good, just kind of wiggle everything out. Okay, so the only other muscle, so you got torque on either side where your pectoralis meets in at this muscle right here, right? But you also have that same torque in your psoas muscle. Connects from the 12 rib deep inside, torque twists where it connects. So we have lots of power to contract and fold. When we contract and fold, we want to make sure we're keeping our chest open. But often what happens is we compress the shoulders, right? Round them forward. We compress our stomach, and that's like the fear response. So everything we do to open the pelvis and open the shoulders is an antidote to that fear response. It's saying, life, I trust you to orchestrate in my highest and best. And that's a really big asking for a lot of us. So let's work with that psoas now. Instead of doing lunges today, we'll have the option to also use the strap again if you need it. And in fact, let's all get this ready for the next two things we'll do with the strap. So for those of you who want to use the strap for dancer pose, Natharajasana, which is another balancing pose, you can make a small loop like we did before, right? Okay. And some of you feel good with not using the strap, but just reaching back, bending at your right knee and grabbing your foot. Otherwise, you can loop that strap and then bring the strap over your shoulder. We'll start with the right foot, okay? So everybody knows where we're going with this. Let's go at with our important prop, if need be, or just with a hand. So send the left arm overhead, right heel is into the right groin. And if you'd like, you can pivot your right hand to the outer edge of your right foot, pushing the right foot back into the hand. Now, if you have your strap there, you're simply reaching that right foot back into your strap and holding your strap with your right arm. So you can decide how much to pivot, how much to push that foot away. We're getting that sort of arc on the front of the body. Take the left arm, if you're holding your foot, straight out in front. Take a couple breaths, find your gaze, squeeze in through your midline. Here's that open shoulder, pectoralis, open pelvis, psoas. Inhale, raise back up. Exhale, release, shake it out. Opposite side, switching the left foot. First initial pose. Get the left quad stretch. Tuck the tailbone down. Now, when we say tuck the tailbone down, it's not always the best graphic for us to understand how we're working. But what I want you to do is, instead of taking your butt and pushing it back, we want to imagine our tailbone is moving down towards our heel on the ground. And that just helps to keep the front of the pelvis and the pelvic bowl level and open. Two headlights facing forward. Right arm by the right ear. Stand taller. And then when you're ready, you can pivot, pressing that left foot into your strap or into your hand and pushing those toes up towards the sky behind you. All while squeezing into your midline, all while arcing on the front of your body. And at the final frontier, the right hand reaches out. You can even turn your palm up and take a little Gyan Mudra. Thumb and ring finger kiss. That's your soul self reaching to your human self. Yes. And when you're ready to come out, inhale, reach up, and exhale, release. All right. Shake all that out. We're going to do just a couple sun salutations to move and groove all this energy we opened. So start at the front of your mat, palms together, heart center. Inhale, open up by offering. I surrender to this flow of life. I am a collaborator with spirit. Exhale, fold in half. I honor the earth and the perfect timing of all things. Inhale, half lift, long spine. I keep my heart open to miracles. Exhale, step or jump back. You can take Chaturanga Dandasana or knees, chest, chin, lower. And then inhale, big back bend. Continuing to let that heart spread. Exhale, meeting in downward facing dog for 5 deep breaths. So the movement of the breath helps you remember to trust that there's a time to give and a time to receive, a time to act and a time to step back. Our breath will constantly remind us of that oscillation of energy. And our soul reminds us of the appropriateness. When we feel tired, we rest in child's pose. When we feel strong, we push it another extra deeper. We feel what's right for us. Bend the knees, look between the thumbs. When you're ready, you can step, jump, or float the feet. Inhale, right away, flat back. Exhale, fold in half, bringing your forehead to your shin bones. Inhale, push the floor, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, completing your prayer. So if you have any prayer to pray for, I'm going to have you close your eyes this next round. And we'll go through a round together with our eyes closed. Because we have to be able to move through the darkness sometimes. So let's practice that now. Inhale, open the palms from the heart and reach up. I trust. Exhale, I fold in half. In myself. Inhale, flat back. I open my heart. Exhale, step, jump, or float, lowering down, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, big back bend, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Eyes stay closed. Moving right through today. This is the fun part, bend your knees. Step, jump, or float. Imagine where you want those feet to land. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Feel yourself in space. Press the floor with your feet. Inhale, rise up. Reaching for the light like the flame of a candle. And exhale, bring that flame into your heart and bow to it. Blink open your eyes. And then turn with wide legs over to face your computer screen. So it can be awkward. You can also sometimes feel like one side always is working harder than the other, right? So it's almost like you want to make up for any imbalances when you close your eyes. Sometimes you see more. Inhale, open the arms out at heart level. Stretch the arms long. Turn your right toes out and hinging from the side hip, right on the inside of the right groin. Bring your right hand down just below your knee and your left arm up to the sky. Push into your feet and draw your pelvis forward. Spread your wings, your arms, and gaze up. Take several breaths here in triangle pose, feeling the pelvis, the feet, the spine, the arms, the head in space. And on your inhalation, stretch back up to the sky, come back through center. Exhale, turn your toes in the opposite direction. Triangle pose, reach out over your left Tipping the hips over to the right. Yes, feel that extension through the pelvis. Just the hand underneath the left shin, or at the left shin, push the hips forward, lean your chest back, and spin and spiral your heart towards the sky. Feeling those legs pressing the earth. Feel the kneecaps lift, leg muscles squeezing. Armpits open and broad, collarbones open and broad. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, press through the feet, reach up to the sky, extend the arms out, turn the toes out, both of them. Bend the elbows. So horse pose or goddess pose, if you'd like, you can take Prithvi Mudra. So the ring fingertips and thumb meet. Elbows are wide like a cactus. Knees are bent. Energy again through those inner groins. And just give it a couple little pulses. Good, and then hands come down onto the knees. You're keeping pulsing. Lean the chest and belly slightly forward in front of your thighs. Hands will catch at your knees, the base of your thighs. Shoulders are kind of squeezing a little bit upward towards the ears, and you can keep that pulse going. Practice your pelvic floor kegels. Okay, more bonds. Good, so you're just doing this little pulse in the pelvis without really moving much. Inner groins, inner hips. So livening it up. Good, pause here. Pull that pelvic floor in. Press your right hand into your right thigh and roll the right shoulder forward, looking over the left as you twist it out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Whew. That feels good today. Inhale, back to center. Press into your left thigh. Left shoulder comes forward, rolling in. Look over your right shoulder. Squeezing, wringing out the spine. Good, inhale back to center. Exhale, press down through the feet, straightening the legs. Walk your hands out in front, turn your toes now to face forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, come down onto your forearms or hands. Lower your head and rest. Half squat to the right, walk the hands over to the right foot, bend the right knee, straighten left leg. So you drop down towards that right hip, your heel can be up or down. Bring the right elbow into the inside of your right knee. Press the right knee away, so again, open groin. If you want to take the twist here, right hand comes in front of the right knee, left arm comes up to the sky. Sinking the hips, breathing up through the arms. Bring the left hand down to the floor. Walk the hands through. You can ninja your way over to the left side now. Left half squat. Inner groins open, palms together, heart center. Breathing in, breathing out. Left arm in front of the left knee. Right arm up to the sky for the twist. So this is really about keeping that heart open now. Really stretch and expand as much as you can, pressing and lifting. Exhale, hands to center. All right, final position, come back through. Wide stance position. Walk the hands out and lower down onto your knees. We'll come into that frog pose again, which we did last week. Slide your knees apart, keep your feet apart. Slide your knees apart, keep your feet apart. I hope you guys can see me here. I might have to change. I'm gonna bring maybe a pillow down in between my knees. Here, let me just tip this. I know you guys loved seeing my thumb there, didn't you? All right, so if you have a little pillow handy, okay, we just lower down wide, right? Here's my toes back here. Most people can kind of turn those toes out. If you have to keep them flat, do. I have a nice soft place for my knees to land, but if you find that you don't have such a nice place to land, you might need to place a blanket underneath. It's our last pose before we do our other decompressions. You can come down onto your forearms, toes are out to the side or folded in, wide knee, wide feet. Pelvis and pubic bone are on the ground. Elbows are on the ground or hands are on the ground. And the more you kind of push your arms into the ground, the more intense it gets as you push your hips back. The more you let your hips come forward, the less it's going to be pressure-wise. And you can always use that blanket or pillow for support. So as we take in this last pose, Bakasana, you're letting all the things that have been holding you bound, expectations, attachments, these things that we say we need so we can be okay. And in this moment, it's possible for us to realize that we already are okay, that all is well. And in fact, you can say that to yourself, all is well. All is as it needs to be in this moment, because it is. And then as we gather our energy for our final poses, allow each and every transition we come through to be made with intent and collaborative dreaming of reality. So first option is to come all the way down. Draw the knees in so the feet are behind you, and full Bakasana is actually taking your hands to your feet again, to your toes, pressing your hands down and lifting your chest up. So you want to look at that from behind or from side angle. I just went from here to here, taking my feet, which we just did from standing, curling my toes in, lifting my chest. So it's a big thigh opener. If that doesn't feel so great for today, we can do other options. So other options, sit back on the heels, take a blanket or a bolster behind you, sitting between the heels. You might even need a block underneath your booty and get the thigh stretch, belly up. Okay, both are doing the same basic thing, which is opening the front of the pelvis and psoas. So the psoas is considered one of the most powerful muscles of the body. And as we release the psoas, it's actually the muscle that gets triggered when we're sitting for long periods of time. We're countering that aging process. We're countering that rounding, curling, protective mechanism. And we're embodying our body to more freedom. So for some people, that position can be too intense for too much time. So you can always come up from either of them. And then to clear us of our final pose, just bring your hips to one side, swing your legs out in front. So they're straight out in front of you. Shake out the legs, massage your thighs. And we'll take whatever props we have. So some of you have blanket you could stack, some of you have a bolster you can stack, and bring it behind you. And in fact, I really like to do this option, which I did yesterday with Mindy in her presentation that she did for advanced yoga training. And it is a supported chest opener with straight legs. So then you take your bolster or your rolled up blanket. You can even use like your mat if you don't have either of those. And you bring it across the narrow side of your mat. Lay down. So your shoulders just go right over that, almost like maybe even on your
like across the back of your scapula. Let the heart open and let the legs extend out. So you'll feel like this really intense opening across the ribs, armpits and shoulders. And you can even let your head go back and your chin come up if that feels like a healthy option for you. I'm going to show you with a bolster. So really like it with a bolster. The round bolster might be too big, but the kind of wide bolster is really nice. And if you have a, well, let's not do this yet. I'll help you guys. So stay where you are. Here's the bolster version. Okay, we're gonna take another minute or two here before we transition into our final strap pose. There was a lot on the agenda today. Oh, good, we're in good time. All right, just another minute. And you could, as an alternative here, for those of you who have difficulty, reclining and opening the chest this month, you can do Matsyasana or fish pose as another option. And to come out, use your belly muscles to lift back up. And if you really like this pose, feel free to stay with it. Final pose today is with our strap, if you have one. Now you kind of need a yoga strap for this one, or you'd have to tie a circle. And I find, depending, especially for people who are real tall, see, I'm only 5'2", so, one little round strap is great for me, but if you're taller than that, you may not find this next option to be the most fun. So if you have your strap, make it one big wide, huge loop, so the edge of your loop only has just enough to kind of make sure you don't slip and slide. And then lay back on your mat and loop your strap behind your head by your ears, and then put your right foot in your strap and your left foot on the ground. So this is a neck decompression. So basically where the strap goes is right at the base of your skull. Okay, now that could be great with one leg, and then switching the leg so the other leg gets a chance. And you're just hanging out here. You're not doing really anything in your trunk. You're letting everything go. Just let your leg hold you up. And then you can also do it with two legs in the strap. This is called cocoon pose. And it's great to help release the throat, the neck, and the shoulders. This is a counterbalance to the last pose we just did with the chest opening. Oh, and you can give yourself a little rock wherever you might be. Squeeze yourself, and then take your hands to your strap, bring your head out first, and then lower your legs to the ground. So that should feel pretty good on your neck. You're ready for Shavasana now. Always option to do legs up the chair, legs up the wall for Shavasana. I have something special to read to you guys as you go into the Shavasana space. I felt like class just went by super fast today. I felt like I was talking the whole entire time. So I promised to be quiet for the last 5 minutes of class. Here's your affirmations for today. We didn't even get to write, but if you have some time to write after class today, it may be a good time to reflect, and I'll give you the writing prompt before we take off today. Here's your prayer. Here's your affirmation as you rest. I accept each and every gift
of expansion, awakening within me during this sacred gateway. In being a co-creative participant in my journey of evolution, I invite the universe to help me let go of needing things to be one way or another, so I may find my true centeredness in the 0 point field of immovable, centerless being, always dwelling within me. In knowing it is so, I hereby release attachments to fear and judgment, and acknowledge the oscillating play between ego and soul existing in all beings, including myself. I accept that I can only be triggered when rooted in the patterning of my own conditioning. Just as I can only admire and appreciate the qualities of anyone's soul as evidence of the soul that is within me. In knowing each of us, every human being is navigating the uniqueness of their own path from ego to soul, I allow the 0 point field of immovable, centerless being to guide me forward, offering viewpoints, perceptions rooted in the heart of compassion to help me hold space for the disintegration of human conditioning and being more aligned with the light of my soul. So we'll bring our attention gently back to our bodies and to the room. I'm going to start by being awake to all the beautiful messages that came through today, the ones that spoke to you. And even maybe before you even come up all the way to sitting, you find yourself reaching for your journal. Or maybe you're just stretching again and opening yourself up with new eyes to this world and to this life that is here before you. As we may have already come through this birth canal or on our way through it, feel the fierceness, the changes and the transformation and the shedding that needs to take place for new birth. We honor this beautiful time of a return to light just coming on this horizon, the merging of two major planets, two beautiful stars in the sky, and all the holiday season that reminds us to focus and celebrate on the light, even in the darkness. So I have placed a few prompts for writing in the chat. And I'll tell you what those prompts are, and then we'll close class. So, and if you want to write these down, feel free. Or you can also, you might be able, hopefully be able to save, I don't know, maybe you'll be able to save the chat, hopefully. Anyways, so these are the questions. What is my sacred healing process right now? What is my sacred healing process right now? So there's 3 prompts. One might really fit you, maybe all 3. This one really caught me. What am I perceiving now that I couldn't a year ago? What am I perceiving now that I couldn't a year ago? What synchronicities have come through this week? And one of the words that I was introduced to recently in my own studies was terma. So terma is like a hidden gift. It's something you come across out of the blue, little miracle. It could even be like a thought you have, just like an aha moment, but it also could be an actual object you find in nature or out on a walk. Or it could be just something that like lands in your lap, or like I had a moth come in, like, I never see moths here, huge moth in the middle of the night come up against my window. And it was a night I was up and I was thinking about a certain thing at the moment that moth came at my door. So there was some moth medicine happening, animal spirit medicine. So these are termas, these are gifts that are provided to us that we maybe can't explain, but spirit's way of speaking to us. It's like we have to merge the worlds. We have to merge the earth matter world with the energy spirit world. And the termas are, so there's a little wiki article that I put in there. So if you want to click that, it'll open up your browser so you can read a little bit about termas. It's actually a Buddhist technique. And then the last thing is, I've really felt the powerful need to practice mantra recently. And the Heart Sutra, the Heart Mantra, which is the song I played during our class today, which is Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Svaha. Now you can look up Deva Premal. That was the song, Gate Gate. But there's also a little something about the meaning of the Heart Sutra. It's one of the most powerful mantras in Buddhism. Now I'm taking all this time today because today is my last class that I'm teaching this season. And so I wanted to just spend a little extra time. Thank you for being patient with me, to just say thank you to all of you. Mahalo nui loa. You have all helped me, myself, get through this year with much more joy and synchronicity and bliss than I could imagine. And in fact, in so many ways, this was one of the most powerful years I've ever had, inspiring years I've ever had. And it's because of all of you that have gone on this journey with me and Talia's kitty. And all the doggies and Danny's kitties and everybody, the doggies that have come through. So anyways, All of you have been medicine in my life. So thank you for giving me a reason to teach and to show up for you and myself on this incredible journey, this spiritual journey. Oh, it's so good to see Christine. Some of you I haven't seen in a long time. And so we will return again in the new year. I plan to teach. There's some really cool things happening in my life. I'm just, kind of waiting for things to evolve, just like all of us, in the perfect, most divine timing. So, with all that said, I deeply wish you all beautiful, beautiful turn of the seasons. We are moving into winter and of hibernation and turning within. So I really hope you give yourself some time to really love on the people around you and the fur babies that are around you and Mother Nature. Spend time in Mother Nature as much as possible and receive all the blessings around you. Happy holidays and much love. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace to all, love to all, light to all. Namaste. Take care, everyone.